Hey Seeker, welcome to the Awakening Her podcast. I am so grateful that you've been led here, and I'm excited for you that you're answering the call to manifest more magic in your life by mastering the law of attraction. So cool. My name is Talia, and I'm committed to cutting the fluff and showing you exactly how to manifest more excitement, ease, success, abundance, confidence, love, and anything else you've been craving. So if you're ready to crack the code on manifestation, amplify your intuition, and play in the quantum, we are now besties. Let's do this. Hello, and welcome back to the Awakening Her podcast. My name is Talia Joy. Hello, how are you? I am so excited to connect in this moment. How are you doing? You are looking fabulous. You are doing such a good job. I hope that today is treating you well. Happy Monday. This is released on a Monday if you are listening. If not, happy insert day here day. I hope that you are doing well, and I am really excited for everything that is going to come forward in this episode. It's going to be powerful, and I feel on the brink of something really, really big, and it kind of coincides with this message today, but just perhaps it's the cosmos. There's a lot going on with the equinox, and there's always so much going on. Our personal evolution, the conversation in general around, spirituality and manifestation, everything is just getting so expansive. And I've been feeling so many, calls to rise, I'll say. So sometimes, like even within myself, there's been a lot coming up, and I know I am armored now to know of the goo phase and to know why things come up so that they can be healed and how we are meant to transcend them. So personally, definitely experiencing that and seeing it in my clients, a lot of shifts, a lot of pivots, a lot of bold moves, a lot of truths, really realizing what works for you, what doesn't work for you. A lot of clients, new clients coming my way going like, I am ready to work with you. I'm ready to do the work. So whatever's going on in your life, whether it is that you're extra triggered and all of your stuff is coming up, or you're feeling this sense of being ready to take another giant leap. Either way, you're taking a giant leap. It's happening. It's happening. And you're just getting sucked up in it. Not actually getting sucked up in it, but you are an important part of this. And that's what we're going to talk about today. But before we do, I just wanted to say that there is a swelling in the energy that is calling us forward collectively. And you would not be here if this wasn't for you. You just wouldn't be attracted to my stuff. You wouldn't be in this realm of conversation. You wouldn't get the memo, but you've got the memo. You have been receiving the memo. You have been, in this seeker, we'll call it lifestyle. And it's for an important reason why this is all going on. And that's what we're talking about today. But yeah, shit's crazy. Like I've got some clients making some big life-changing decisions and moves. I've got people where, as I'm saying, like this power to overcome the current limitations. It's like we get this surge of like, rah, right? And that can come from that rock bottom of like, F it, I'm ready to do what it takes. Or it can come from like, maybe you're just ready to claim your next level of success, of health, of magnetism, and just really ready to like do the damn thing already and transcend your own suffering. So if that's, the little mission you're on right now, same as me and same as us listening, you are not alone. I'm so excited you're here. We're going to talk all about this and how this comes into your purpose and what is going on right now on earth. And we're just going to jam out about purpose in general, the awakening going on, the transcending from 3D to 5D. We're going to talk about also what 4D is, and we're just going to kind of get into it. It's going to be super good. And before we do, welcome. If any of you are new, hello. My name is Talia Joy. I don't want to be like the weird one just standing up and talking without introducing myself if we have never connected before. My name is Talia Joy. As I say, I am an intuitive. I am a channel. I am a manifestation mentor, and really just I am a bestie in your awakening journey, because that's what you're on, is a journey of awakening. Whether you're particularly drawn to manifestation, or maybe it's healing old wounds, even generational stuff, healing trauma, raising your vibration. Maybe you are just on the path to become your quote unquote best self. You want to manifest more. You want to step into it. Maybe you're looking to start a business and impact people and, share your light with the world. This is why you are here and you are in an awakening journey. Welcome. It is a crazy mother friggin' ride. And it is one that can be really lonely at times. It's important for us to gather with people that understand the journey, because you can feel while you're going through your dark night or while you're going through these really trying times, you can feel like it's hard to belong here on earth. It's like it's very overwhelming, and we can be crushed with our own feelings and emotions and sensations and sensitivities, but we can also be using our powers for that good. And the power of an empath or an old soul or a light worker or a sensitive or a mystic or a seeker, the power of a seeker on fire is so massive. So our suffering can be very deep, and it can feel isolating, and it can be really a hard journey. But our light is so strong, and our light is what is meant to be shown and shone, both of them. We want to show our light and we want to shine our light. And that is truly what you're here to do, is to transcend all this, to go through this awakening journey. And an awakening journey is like an endless, unrelenting purification system, where we are over and over asked to rise, asked to heal, asked to transcend, asked to help others, asked to rid ourselves of what no longer serves us, to step into the light instead of the dark, to heal what holds us heavy. It is an endless cycle of purification. And in that becomes the lightness, becomes the pure magnetism that I talk about with manifestation, and your purpose emerges from that place too. So this is, you're on the right journey, even if it feels very messy, but continue to just be around like-minded people. Listen to the podcast, join with, even if you have one or two spiritual running buddies online or in person, have a mentor, read books, whatever it is that makes you feel seen and understood in this journey, because it can be tough. And you may resonate or identify as being a starseed, which gives a whole other level to the feeling of feeling like you're not from here, because you probably may not have been. But again, I'm going to talk about this in purpose, because there's a lot to talk about. So if you are here and all of this resonates with you, you're in the right place. Welcome. I love you. We're now besties. I'm excited about it. And if anybody has not come and found me on Instagram or Facebook, it is at Talia Joy Manifestation on both. And I'm very active on both, and I love to connect with you. I thank you for being in my community and leaving your comments and DMs. I just really like to get to know you, because at the end of the day, you're a real person out there. You're not just a like, you're not just a number, you're not just a quote unquote friend on Instagram. You're a real human. And I love connecting and seeing your light, and so many beautiful souls that I cannot wait to meet one day in person. And it's just so great. So come find me on the things at Talia Joy Manifestation. And the last thing I wanted to share before we get into this is that I am getting really excited. I'm taking a trip at the end of this week. I am going to Casey Villard's in-person event, which is an As She Rises conference, which is just incredible. Casey is amazing. She's been on the show talking about Kundalini a bunch of episodes back, but I've taken courses with her. She's an incredible woman, mother, entrepreneur, spiritual, badass, incredible woman. And I know that in my very near future, we are doing in-person events. We are meeting, we are gathering, and I am so excited to go to her event. So we are in Canada. Casey is in Canada as well, and she is one province over, which for any of you that don't know, province is like a state, but they're called provinces, and that's about it. But we are, so I'm flying over to Calgary, and I actually briefly lived in Calgary for a year, way back before I had any of my children. And so it was a time that was actually filled with a lot of weirdness. And any of you that have been listening, like original OGs, I have a pattern of creating healing road trips for myself, where I go back to all the places I've lived, because I've lived so many places and had a lot of dark times, a lot of good times, but a lot of pain. And so I've gone back to many of the places I've lived and gone to school and created like healing rituals around these places, like physical locations. I'll go back to my elementary school, the houses I've lived in. So I've actually been to almost every single house I have lived in my entire life, which is actually a lot. My mom was a Rolling Stone. I was a Rolling Stone. But I have not been back to Calgary. So Very interesting. I won't be going back to the place I lived because I will not have my car there and I'm in another area of town. And to be real, I don't really desire to go back to that house. There's something about it that I'm okay, but it will be interesting to go back to the city. I am going to be fairly close to an old health food store I used to work at while I lived there called Community Natural Foods. And I will go back and stock up for my Airbnb. But I'm just really excited to be around like-minded entrepreneurs, like-minded seekers, women here to change the world, women here to make an impact, to learn. There's keynote speakers. There's a somatic dance party, which, oh my goodness, for my retreats, I've already planned out this. Basically that. I didn't call it a somatic dance party, but it's like moving emotion with dance. And she's doing that. It's going to be this incredible, 2 full days. There's an exercise class. There's all the things. And it's going to be really, really fun. And I can't wait to see what emerges on the other side. So I'm sure I'll keep you updated on Instagram and Facebook and send pictures and all the things, but I also might just be offline for the rest of the week. Who knows? But I just wanted to share that little celebration because since COVID and being a mom of 3, I haven't traveled a lot in the last few years, in the last bit, and I love traveling. I love doing things on my own. I also love being with my husband, being with my family, traveling. It's just so fun. But I've gone to New York on my own and Vegas on my own to go see Gabby Bernstein, and New York to see a mentor, and I like to do that stuff. So this is really part of me living my highest expression and doing the damn thing and investing in myself and knowing I'm worth it and taking that time because it is important, and it's huge in my business, in my energy. We all need time to either be fueled and activated like a conference, or like alone and on our own in the woods, or a meditation or a retreat, or like we all really deserve that. So as we can, we need to be doing these things for ourselves, whether it's again a solo weekend or something immersive, a retreat. It's just so important. So anyway, sharing that excitement, and let's move forward. Let's move on to why you are here today. So we're going to talk about purpose. And while I sat in and settled into the energy to channel through, to open up to what needed to come forward today, why am I talking about purpose? This was very planted. This was very divinely led to go, we need to start opening up the conversation, to call more people into their light, to open the doorway, to be the path shower, or at least share some things in your ears and to get into your heart, maybe in your cells, to help activate this new level of what it means to be in your purpose and why you're here and why we can't keep being sort of stuck in the 3D. We can't escape the 3D, and I'm going to get into that in a second. But it's time to become unhooked. It's time to become unleashed from the matrix. It's time to become self-expressed. It's really time to put down and heal and integrate the wounds, the inner child. Like, we've been having this conversation for a while, right? I swear the conversation moves so fast around here. And the fact that you're listening to this, you're moving along with it. But years ago, it was all about manifestation. It was all about, the secret and think about money and you'll get money. And then people started going, well, shit, that doesn't consistently work. How do we figure, why does that work sometimes and not other times? And we started to realize, because we have these blocks, these emotional blocks, but these energy blocks that are like, we don't actually think it's possible to manifest the money, or we don't believe we're worth it to go do the thing, or we're sitting around entitled, waiting for the experience to drop in our lap, and we're not willing to take action and be bold and be brave and invest and whatever else. We realized that there was a lot more to manifestation than just simply going $10,000. So now we've recognized that in actuality, you can intently focus and align with $10,000 and bring it into your reality. And yes, we need to then release the resistance of what is in our way, because the law of attraction is real. We do live in a hologram, a dream where we are the dreamer and the dreamee. You are dreamy and you are the dreamer. But we are creating this reality, all things we're going to tap deeper into in this episode. And it is time to transcend that stuff that you've been, quote unquote, doing the work on. We have the awareness of, we have these wounds, we have these traumas, we have an inner child. And I want you to know that in my passionate tone today, I am not discounting the severity of trauma. So I'm not saying it's time to just friggin' get over it, because so many of us have been through such excruciating circumstances, whether it's prejudice or it's, assault or it's mistreatment, abandonment, abuse. We've been through so much, and so many people have been through so much worse than I have. And so it's not about the insensitivity of it's time to just move on. I want to just kind of set that disclaimer, because sometimes when I get passionate, I'm like, you could do it. Come on, let's do the thing. And I just want to set the scene, the loving cloud nest of empathy, to say that it's not about like, you should just get over it. It's just saying your soul is calling to be more, the more of you, to take what has happened and to spin it into gold and move it and alchemize it into what becomes your fucking power. When people have overcome deep stuff and gone through it, they become more powerful, more inspiring, more expanded in their energy. And I'm going to use a very non-serious, non-heavy example. If anyone's ever done ice baths or ice showers or whatever, it is so hard for most of us. Like, I feel sometimes like I'm cold-blooded because I'm always cold. Of course, I think I'm warm-blooded. But I get in an ice bath and everything in me wants to run. But when I stay and I sink in and I use the power of my mind and I overcome everything in me saying, get the fuck out of here. What are you doing? I start creating actually like a little warm bubble around, right? You're like, get this tiny warm bubble. And by the time it's time to get out, I'm like, whoa, I spent 4 minutes in there, or 6 minutes, or 3 minutes, whatever it was. Whoa, crazy. And I get out and my body's surging with energy and I'm not actually even cold. And I always think I'm going to need a hot shower after this, but my whole body is surging with blood flow, energy, and I'm not cold at all. And I put on my clothes, whatever, go about my day. And there's this not only refreshed, but this sense of power of like, I can overcome anything. I just sat in freezing cold water. Right? I got that feeling after having a natural childbirth. Sorry if it's TMI, but of course it's not, because it's natural. It's a natural part of life. But after getting through that, I am like, I can literally do anything. So sometimes when we get through really hard things, actually all the time when we get through really hard things, we become more powerful. So that's the angle that I'm saying it's time to step through what has been holding us back. It's because to the depth of your sadness is also the depth of your power. To the depth of your suffering is also the depth of your power. To the depth of the internal struggle, the things you've had to overcome within yourself or in life, that is equal to the power that you are here to bring. So do you see how much power you're here to bring based on what you've experienced? So that's kind of just the foreplay. That's just the intro to what we're going to get into. And it is truly time to step into that next level. So I'm going to back it up a little bit and just say that you've heard me talk about this before. If you've heard me talk about this before, our entire point here, this is my perception. Do your own spiritual research. They always say that on YouTube, right? This is my, opinion. I'm not giving blah, blah, blah. Do your own research, form your own opinion. Okay. So this is the way it appears to me through my intuitive gifts, through the way spirit has shown me, plus the things I've learned from my spiritual teachers or my mentors, or in, the things that I've seen. So our entire purpose here is to grow and expand. And I think there's even way bigger levels of purpose that we are not aware of, because we are only human, and like what's beyond the galaxy and what's beyond that. And like it gets to a point where our brain's just like, meh, right? Because we're not meant to take in all that. That is for when we're between lives. That is for when we are formless. We will understand that a bit better again and remember it again. But for now, we just need to know that we are spirit. We are fractals of God, of spirit, of higher consciousness, just like every ounce, every fractal or milliliter of ocean water is part of the ocean, right? Every thread in a quilt is part of a quilt. It's every carrot in the garden is part of the garden. It's like we are individual components of a much bigger picture. And if you just kind of go like science for a second and go like, we're Earth, and then there's all the other planets in our solar system, don't say Pluto or you will date yourself. It's so funny. One of my kids knows of Pluto and the other one knows that Pluto isn't a planet. And it's like right when that narrative changed. Anyway, we have our planets, and then we know that we are in our Milky Way galaxy, but we know that there's billions of galaxies, and so many of the stars we look up at in the sky are suns that have planets around them. Like, WTF, right? Like, what the fuck is all of this? So when you just look at that, we can see how small and fractal and fragment we actually are, meaning like we are just a tiny piece of a much bigger thing going on. And within our own life, within our own grain of rice, we are our own world. So your problems and your details are small in some ways, but in your world, they're everything, right? It's kind of like a kid. If like on one day on the street, another kid is like, didn't ask them to play, it's their whole world. And they're like, the kid didn't ask me to play. And you're like, this, in the scheme of their entire life, this is such a small thing, but it's everything in that day. So we give ourselves credit. We honor our experience is our experience, and it literally is our whole world within what we perceive, but we are a much bigger part of something. We are a small part of something much bigger. And if you want to think of it like Creator created all of it, it's kind of like every blade of grass is part of nature. Every human, everything is part and created from, you could say, even nature or spirit or God or, Creator. So our entire point here, I believe, why we individuated as humans is we are evolving. It's kind of like the entire point of everything is evolution and to evolve. If you think of the way Earth has happened, it evolves over time. The solar systems, the galaxies, how space is expanding. Again, explain that, try to wrap your head around that. But everything is expanding. Nothing is contracting. Even when there's like a black hole, that energy funnels into another pool and pocket of expansion. So we are literally part of an expansion. If you are not evolving, you are not in purpose. If you are not growing and expanding, that's why it feels so bad. That's why it feels so bad to struggle with the same thing over and over, to feel like you're not moving forward. The inner critic goes, you're not far enough ahead, blah, blah, blah. It's all about how far ahead we are and how much we have evolved. That is all because that's our entire point, is to evolve. And in your consciousness, in your inner being, in your emotional state, if you're not evolving, you are not in purpose. The thing I want to say is we are evolving. If you are here, you are evolving. It's not just about how many programs you've taken or how many mentors or how many books you've read. It's a personal inside evolution. And you can be struggling with something, say it's alcohol or relationships or your business. You can struggle for years and still be evolving inside, right? You need to keep evolving. That is like the base of what we're here to do. And then even in our soul, if our soul doesn't feel like we're evolving, it's like, nah, it's the opposite of why we're here. We're not in purpose. So we are here to grow and evolve. And when you come down to the human level, the human is here to grow and evolve. In our brain has evolved over time. Our mind evolves, our understandings evolve, our social constructs and what we think of life, right? We used to think the earth was flat, and then some people think it's round now. It's like our consciousness evolves, our understanding, our truths. It's like, no, it's flat. And then it's like, no, it's round. And so we change our understanding. Wayne Dyer used to use the example of like smoking was universally, or whatever, not universally, humanly. It was really, really cool. And then over a few years, it turned into like, if you smoke, you are stupid and you're this. And I'm not personally saying that. I'm just saying the narrative, right? It went from like, oh my goodness, they're cool, into like, how dare you? And that's that social understanding changes, right? So we're going through this where our consciousness is evolving. We are becoming more and more aware of things. So that is also our purpose as a human. Our emotional state is meant to grow and change and evolve into something more expanded. So we are spirit experiencing itself, evolving just like space is expanding. God, spirit, source, life evolves through us. Nature evolves through trees growing and falling and turning into soil and this, right? It's the evolution. We are evolving. So our entire purpose here is to evolve. And I'm going to talk about, if there is I'm going to do a workshop on this coming up soon. It's going to be more like an experience in a workshop, a purpose activation experience. I'm going to put the link below to either get on the wait list or sign up if the sales page is created by now, because this is what we need to unlock it in ourselves. We need to understand that as a human, our purpose is to transcend our suffering. And there's something that I call the personal evolution purpose. And this is what you came here to overcome, or what you came here to embody. So a big part of our personal evolution is unconditional love, is the lesson of unconditional love. And that may not be yours, but that may be a lot of yours. Or you came here to overcome confidence and find your power, find your love. Maybe it's about activating your voice. There's these personal evolutions. Maybe it's a big humbling experience to move away from I and me into a more, serving others experience or whatever. We all have a personal evolution to overcome abandonment, to step into our gifts. We came here to do certain things our soul intended for us as people, to evolve into something, to overcome something, to step into something. And then through that is the work. That's why you're drawn to healing work, is because you're here to overcome, to transcend. But what is on the other side is the ultimate hope for you. And what is on the other side of the healing is the earth purpose, what you came to help people on earth with. What if you're a healer, if you're a mother or a father or an empath or a teacher or an influencer or a speaker or, whatever it is, you came here to help other humans as well. That's why maybe you're a doctor, or you're someone who is an advocate for children or women's rights or whatever it is. You came here to help humans evolve, because you are here to personally evolve, and our planet is also evolving. So we have to do the inner work first, because it starts inside the house. It starts inside you. But then as you do this work, you naturally start to aid in the evolution of the earth, the evolution of human consciousness. And this is where, if we want to go super deep, this is where we bring in starseeds. Starseeds came here to help Earth evolve, to spark higher consciousness. So you may be here to spark evolution and higher consciousness in the form of your empathy, of your humor, of your innovative ideas, of your creativity, of your showing people that they are enough. It's not always that you came here to spark the consciousness by being the next Ram Dass or being, and that, if that's for you, then that's for you as well. But you can do it. You spark love, you spark community, you spark healing, you spark togetherness, you spark truth, you spark light, you spark spirit in others through your art, through your song, through your teaching, through your motherhood, through the way you carry yourself, your empathy, your compassion in the grocery store, your ability to listen and hear others, your ability to be real, your awesome sense of humor, your differentness. That is what you came here to do. That is part of your purpose. Part of your purpose. And what they're saying right now, my guides are going, our first hope is for you to heal what you've been through, to overcome what is in the negative, what is holding you down, what is keeping you heavy. And then after that, our highest hope, that it's almost like, whoa, if they do that in this lifetime, that is the cherry on top, is for you to overcome yourself and what you've been through enough to shine your light and truly help others. So I have always known since I was young that I was going to be big, and I didn't ever think of it as fame or money or my name on every billboard or to be a singer or an actor. It wasn't really that. It was, now the word I would say is expansive, but it's like my vibe is so big and I fill up a room, whether I'm in a good mood or a bad mood. Ask my husband, I cannot fake it. I fill up that fucking room, right? And so I struggled with that as I was growing up, being like feeling different, knowing I'm here for something big, but feeling so messed up and all this stuff. However, from the time I was young, and maybe some of you can relate, I knew that I was here for big things, inside and out. Yet, my personal journey continuously, quote unquote, held me back because I knew I was here for big things, but I felt like shit about myself. But I struggled with my confidence. I struggled with my body, my self-worthiness, feeling abandoned, blah, 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 right? And so there's a meeting of I am meant for big things meets, oh my God, I'm so crippled by my own shit. So those two energies sort of butt heads and cause contrast because I'm so ready and know I'm here for more, and my own stuff is so crippling. And that is where they're asking us to step through, to step forward. You've done a lot of work. It's about integrating. It's about, yes, going deeper, but also really stepping into that next level, stepping into that earth purpose. Really shining your light, what you've learned, into the community, into other, your children, the people around you, being the light, writing the book, being the mentor, being the person you want to be, bringing your sparkle to maybe a business you have already. So I'm going to scale it back a little bit from the business purpose. We'll go into that more in a second, but I just want to come back to another part of your highest purpose is realizing that this experience is all about choices. We have free will. You've heard that before, right? Humans have free will. We have the gift of free will. And it's always this battle, quote unquote, or whatever. I just say that so you can see my hands, between light and dark, between good and evil, if you want to say that. The good devil, the bad devil, no wait, the angel, the devil. It's about the ego and the heart. And this life experience is about making choices. Am I going to step into what I want to be? Am I going to step into making different decisions, making different choices for myself? As I learn more, am I going to do better? As I learn more about myself, am I going to take different action? Am I going to incrementally choose to move myself out of this place? Am I going to take the higher path? And sometimes the higher path is messy. There is a lot of wobble. There's a lot of in and out. If you give up something, you go back. That's why sometimes with exes, we go in and out a little bit before we're ready to just walk away, or quitting something, or moving in and out of fear. We wobble a bit. That's normal. That's fine. That's literally what happens when you learn to ride a bike. And sometimes you fall, but you get up and you keep going. So where I want to move this conversation into is the whole point of your experience is to grow, is to move from 3D into the awareness of 4D, into the state of 5D. And we hope this is in this lifetime, because the earth needs you. The earth needs your message, your medicine, your light. So 3D is the physical experience. It's the things you can touch and see and hold. It's your body, the flesh in your body, I should say. It's the physical 3D reality, right? We see things that it's around us. You know what that is. The 5D that everybody talks about is this more, I think it's the quantum, but it's the realm of unlimited possibilities as well. It's the potential. So we move from the limits of the 3D into the potential of the 5D. So we move from, well, I can't make money because right now my bank account only has $500 and I've never been able to do it. That's like very 3D. Into abundance is everywhere and it is unlimited, and I am going to sync up with it with my energy. That's more the 5D, is the realm of creation, the realm where we create with our emotions, with our thoughts. It is where things start to be physically manifested, but they are not yet physical. It's the 5D. But the 4D is our emotions. That's our stories. So you think about your stories that you play in your mind, and maybe it's like, I can't do this. I'm too fat. I'm too thin. I'm not good enough. I can't. It's hard. The economy. These are stories. They're not 3D. You can't hold your story about the economy. You can't hold your story of not enoughness. But it is very real in your nervous system. It's very real in your mind. That is the 4D. So we don't escape anything, but we learn to master all. We learn to have 1 foot, I guess we'd have 3 feet in this case, 1 foot in each dimension, where we are living here in the physical 3D. We have our bank accounts, we pay our taxes, we, make love, we eat food, we buy Birkenstocks, and we walk on the beach. We live in our 3D experience. We master our 4D experience, which is that's the emotions, that's the ego, that's the stories, that's also the good emotions, where we tell ourselves good and loving things, and we nourish ourselves, our confidence, our, all of that, our self-reliance, or our esteem. That's what I'm trying to think of. Our self-esteem. That's all in the 4D. That's the beliefs, that's the emotions, that's the feelings. We have to master and be aware of that 4D to move into the realm of unlimited possibility. And this is what I teach, where it's like, okay, my limit feels very real. So say, let's use the example of my body healing, which for any of you new here, it seems like a random story. To any of you listening, you know what I'm talking about. So in my healing journey, the 3D, body is in pain. I was always told it will not get better, it will get worse. That was in the 3D. I had a lot of feelings and emotions about that, fear and anxiety and worry about that. But I also had feelings and emotions of my own not enoughness, my own trauma that was internalized into my body. So I had to move from there's no way to heal this into witnessing and noticing my beliefs, my emotions, my energy with myself, my esteem, the way I talk to myself, also with my body, to move into I can heal this, I can transcend this, to receive healing energy, miracle energy, to move into possibility, to move into an actual state of vitality and healing that takes a transcendence. And that's the journey you're on with your own stuff, right? With your own limits, with your own problems, with your own narratives. So that is the whole purpose of why we're here. So if you are an old soul, which you are on a mission to bring love, empathy, compassion, and change, to spark higher consciousness in the planet. And you have gone through a lot because you are meant to have that much power. So hear me right now. Your shit that you've been through, the problems, the very real situations you have been through, have all been prepping you for the magnitude of the impact that you are here to make, the magnitude of the power that you have within you, and the time is right now. We need you now. Your life needs you. Your bank account needs you. But we as your fellow humans are waiting for you because we all need to step into our light. You know, when you meet someone and their light is on, how refreshing it is, how nice it is, how nourishing it is. That is what you are here to do. If you are an old soul, you came here, you signed up to do that. And that may be through your children, through your community, through hosting or coaching sport teams. It may be from stages. It may be from books. It may be in your friend circle, in your group. It may be because you're here to be a therapist or an intuitive channel. Whatever it is time. We need you. You know there's a lot of division in the earth right now. There's a lot of division amongst humans. There's a battle of light and dark and this and that and up and down and blue and red and black and white. Everything is, not everything, but there's a lot of divide. And you are here to bring that through line, to bring that healing, that source frequency, because we cannot fix this planet from the way that things are going right now. We need a radical transcendence, and it's already going on. You were born in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, maybe 2000s for a reason. Like right now in history, there's a reason you were born. And right now you're turning on your light and we need you. So where I want to end off is for those of you that want to go on and help others. Whether it is a business or whether it's just like, yes, I truly feel like I'm somehow here to help others. That is a deep down call that not everybody has, that only gets planted in those that are truly here for that mission. And that is because you're an old soul. You've overcome a lot in previous lives, and your higher being, your inner being, your soul is calling you for that next level of claiming that magic, that light, that healing ability that you have within you to transcend your suffering, to realize that you are the creator of your reality, and to co-create that highest expression and inspire others to do the same, to inspire others to step into their light. It doesn't matter how you do it. In fact, you are here with a unique blueprint. You're not here to do exactly what I'm doing. You're not here to do exactly what anybody else is doing. You're here to do exactly what you are here to do, what you are doing. The byproduct of you transcending your suffering, doing the work, embodying, claiming, stepping the fuck into, the byproduct of that is you stepping into your earth purpose, being an inspiration to others. Write the book so that you can transcend the lives and teach others maybe how to write their book. Bring the conversation of unlimited possibility into the workplace, into your parenthood, into your friends circle. This will unlock and does unlock an entire new meaning of life. And if you're listening to this, I know that you've already been called toward that. I'm going to be doing content coming up on creating a purpose-led business because I just feel this deep call. I've talked about this through my whole business. I've done programs, helped others. A lot of my clients are entrepreneurs, and it is just so important to talk about what your purpose is and how you're here to help others. So as I recap and as I end this episode, I want to say that if you are called to help others, that is not just a maybe. It's not just a I hope. It's not just later. It's not just next year. It's right friggin' now. Because what it does when you step forward into that role is it causes you to grow and evolve and expand. And as we've covered, if you're not growing and evolving and expanding, you are literally going against the grain of why you're here and what humans are meant to do, spiritually, physically, all of it. We evolve. Your next step evolution is helping others, maybe probably through what you've been through or through what has helped you so much. Maybe it's creating your own modality, having your own teachings, showing the power of art and how it heals, or bringing your own unique empathy, light, compassion, sparkle into what you're doing, whether it's corporate or it's staying at home, nurturing your home, maybe with your kids, maybe on your own, whether you have a business, whether you want to have a business, whatever. This is your next evolution. We need your light. We need those genius inspirations. We need those downloads. You are here to help others. You have a special sparkle. And how you get there, how you get clarity on how you are meant to help others, is by continuing to explore. I would always recommend listening to podcasts, joining workshops, conversations, whatever it is that sparks you. But it's through your own healing journey. As you embody more healing energy, as you transcend the endless I can't, or I shouldn't, or I'm not enough, as you get so sick of that, that you go even deeper into the healing and rid yourself of another layer of the ego onion, you naturally transcend, you naturally step into that confidence, that clarity in what you are meant to do on this earth and how you can bring your sparkle. I know dentists or dental hygienists that have incredible sparkle, teachers, parents, people of all walks of life that bring their sparkle out into the world. And that also in turn creates that true magnetism. I don't have enough time in this episode to get into it, but being in that state is so freaking sexy and magnetic to the universe that you naturally start attracting your highest expression because you're stepping into your highest expression. So the universe can naturally attract to you the abundance, the opportunities, the things that align, quote unquote, out of nowhere to help and assist you in stepping into this. Because we've all been waiting for it. So as you bravely step into your dreams, every program you join or podcast you listen to or meditation retreat or whatever you do, every step you take will unlock another level of clarity. You don't have to know right now where it's all going to go. You don't have to know right now what the business plan is, or if it's going to be online, or if it's going to involve this or that. You don't have to know right now. But what you have to do is continue going in your personal evolution, your personal healing journey, your personal unlocking your power journey, whatever it takes, and you naturally start inspiring others. Family members start asking what you've done because you all of a sudden sparkle. You're looking more vital. You're looking maybe even younger and healthier because you're filled with that life force energy. People start asking, people start noticing. It starts to evolve. I have a client, if you're listening, hey, who, as we work together, her gifts went from like, I'm really curious about what intuition is, into realizing she is a full-blown medium, unlocked her gifts, created a podcast, started talking about it online, channeling spirit, doing readings for people in the course of like 3 months because she was ready. She's also a mom of 3, has a very normal life, but all of a sudden was so ready to unlock her gifts. And it was like, I am ready to be done with this. She kept meeting her internal things that would come up with healing energy, with allowing it to be there, with understanding. And sure enough, gifts just started unlocking. All of a sudden she's talking to like Archangel Michael and her spirit team and other people's spirit teams. And now she just full on has a business. That was in like 3 months, not even, because she was so ready. This is what happens when we say yes. And it was scary for her. Her family wasn't particularly into like spirituality and mediums. Even parts of her family were strictly religious, and she really feared her intimate family members disregarding her or judging her. And it was scary. It was really scary. She had to step through a lot of personal barriers. But inside, she realized she was a psychic medium and now has a business on it, and went from being a stay-at-home mom with her very young children to creating her own income and creating her own business. And she had a business before that was so not spiritual, that to do something so purpose-led is like unlocking new levels of her. That's what happens as we're ready to step into it and we continue doing our own work. So I think it's good. There's so much more I could say, but I want you to just know that this life is about choices. This life is ultimately calling you to overcome what you are plagued with, to step through your personal evolution purpose into your earth purpose. And I pray for you that it is in this lifetime. And if you want to do this work with me, if you want to do it one-on-one, you can always send me a message, Facebook, Instagram, email, whatever. They are all below. I think I have a spot right now, but things are changing all the time. Reach out if you feel called. I am going to do a purpose. I'm not even going to call it a workshop, because it's a cellular activation of transcending your suffering and stepping into why you are ultimately here. And we're going to do a little bit of starseed work they're showing me. So if you're interested in that, check the link below as well for that. It's going to be just a beautiful, sacred evening of spirit and purpose activation. I hope to see you there. Otherwise, I love you so much. Watch out on the podcast for more episodes coming forward about taking your purpose and creating a business, or funneling it into a way you can make money, but most importantly, help others and really move forward the global consciousness and really help to expand. So if you're wanting to do something like that, keep an eye out. If you're interested in that, please send me a message on Instagram or Facebook and let me know you're into this purpose stuff, because I don't just do this to hear the sound of my own voice. I do this to help you, to help move you along, to help guide you. I know that if you're listening to this, if you're my people, if you're here right at the end, this is your time. You are meant for this. Good job. I love you, and I will see you around in the next episode. Okay, take care. Bye. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode. I truly hope that it served you and helped to move the needle forward in your life. So before you go, I want to ask if you are looking for some new practices, if you need a little meditation for some stress, or you're looking to get unblocked. If this is you, I want to invite you into the Freebie Library. Yes, it's free. It contains an Awakening Her daily practice, a meditation for stress, a guide to help get unblocked, as well as a scripting manifestation exercise to use the power of the quantum to literally script out your future. So if you're looking to get a little bit more mojo in your manifestations, I welcome you into the Freebie Library. It's going to help to move you forward and give you some extra tools in your tool belt. So check the links below and dive in now.